Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I am celebrating my pad 1400 day login bonus, which occurred actually yesterday. But regardless, we're going to be celebrating with an exciting box tour of my Mantastic account. Furthermore, towards the end of this video, I will tease a little bit as to what future content I plan to release that's pad related, barring any unusual evolution releases such as, the Norns, like Scald, Verdandi, Erd. That's still in my draft folder. I'm not publishing until it's released. But I have two other things that I want to share with you, but I'll do that at the end. So, my Mantastic account is my primary or main account. It's the one I've played for the longest period of time. It's the one I tend to put the most love, effort, and investment into. And it has been quite an exciting journey. Like, I did not honestly foresee myself playing this game for 1400 plus days when I first started back so many years ago. I actually got into pad because I was reading the newspaper while commuting somewhere on the bus, and the newspaper said, like, this is a great game, Puzzle and Dragons, like, it's doing phenomenally well in Japan, it's like setting new records, so on and so forth, which is obviously true. And I thought to myself, hey, why not give it a shot? Like, if it is that big and that popular, why not try it? And so I actually did download it onto my iPad mini. I've had this iPad mini for years. I used it for work a long time ago, and it's getting old and the software doesn't update, so eventually it's not going to run pad, which is a little scary to me, but I think it's still quite a ways away. I can't get to version 10. But regardless, I downloaded this game a long time ago, and I thought it was amazing. Like, it was brilliant because, like, it's so new, so novel, so different. Like, match 3 games technically haven't really... I guess they kind of existed. I think Candy Crush was around back then, but in all honesty, Candy Crush, I feel that most of us will agree, is very flat by comparison. So this is right up my alley. Like, it involved a large degree of puzzling, thinking, and thought process, and it was exciting. Furthermore, there was not much necessarily, like, community-based information at that point in time because, well, it was a relatively new game. No one's necessarily established themselves that well at that point. And also, I wasn't really aware of, like, using Google, I guess, enough to look up guides and whatnot. I don't know why I didn't. So I was kind of just going at it all alone for the first year or year and a half all myself. I just had no idea what I was doing because, well, I didn't know where to look it up. I guess the Japanese server did exist, of course, but maybe we didn't have as much translation, as much manpower to necessarily bring the information. Whereas nowadays, we have information like that. We have a lot of contributors in the community who will translate Japanese news right away, so we know what's coming out in 3 months plus. And in my opinion, that is a little sad because when we do receive the content, it's kind of old or dated. Like, any new dungeon has been beaten to hell and back by the Japanese player base, so it's not necessarily new or novel by the time we get it because we can preview it beforehand. We know exactly all the tricks, tips, and almost abusive strategies that can be utilized. So that is one major drawback I feel of pad. It's probably the largest drawback overall because nothing we get is in a timely fashion. We don't know when these evolutions are released, whereas in Japan at least, they announce it and it comes very promptly. They don't have to wait, and they're the first to get it as well. So that would probably be the biggest setback I feel for pad, is the fact that there's such disparity between the Japanese server and North America, Europe, and I think even Korea as well. But regardless of all that, I might as well show you my monster box. So I have... Let's go sort by chronological. I didn't know how this game worked before. I actually started with an angel. I gave it a lot of plus eggs, like a 3-star angel, because I thought, hey, it's a healer. It's healing me. This is amazing. This is great. So I actually had a lot more cards in between here before Gabriel. But Gabriel was my first rare machine monster, and he still never has been useful, so I'm kind of a little sad about that. And then I did get Sakuya at some point. Technically, Sakuya would be further down in my chronological because, well, there's some Mystic Knights and Ripper Dragons that I may have fed pluses to, and then I consumed them later. This is back before when plus eggs were actually hard to get. Like, I had a highly plussed out Zeal, and then I realized it was not that useful, so I was like, okay, let's give it to someone else. But Sakuya was the real first powerful rare machine monster I ever had. And I actually used Sakuya as my main leader for the longest time. And for a while, I was actually beating current content with her. I was using, like, the Farmable Valkyrie, Farmable Echidna. I used Virch, which is the yellow Mystic Knight. And I think I fed him for pluses at some point, actually. No, I fed him to Miru, actually. And then I actually use King Bubbly, which you see right here. And I max skilled him back when 2x skill up rates were the norm. I was so proud of myself. This took so much effort, so many days wasted, so many 0 for 5 skill ups, but I had it max skilled. And it was like the crown jewel of my old Sakuya team. Like the Virch, this is when Sakuya gained physical type. And basically I had the Sakuya, And only Sakuyas were physical and the bubbly, so they were hitting for 3 times damage. Everything else was hitting for 36 times, which sounds a little savage and barbaric, but I was beating like Zeus Vulcan back in the day, and this was before board changes came out. So you basically had to take a big gamble of when you entered a dungeon. Like oftentimes I'd enter, say, a challenge dungeon like, say, Beelzebub, and both the Cerebuses were on 1-turn timers, and I didn't have a board. So I'm just like, well, hello darkness, my old friend. Nothing I can do. Whereas nowadays, at least we have Callies. We can get Callies with enough skill boosts. I don't know if Awakenings were a thing. They were partially a thing back then. Not very many Awakenings. So you could actually have those actives up in times. But now we can at least board change it away. But then Sakuya's obviously fallen out. I still like to use her. Like, I like the idea of Sakuya, but I don't like how she actually plays out in the sense that it's not necessarily viable. There are just simply so many better leaders that have much gentler activation requirements, along without having that horrible color clause. Because matching 4 specific colors can be annoying, but it's worse when you have to hit 10 combos for multipliers. So you need the colors and combos. Like, it's things that don't really go hand in hand necessarily. So basically, Sakuya is what I used for the longest time. And if we go down a trip down memory lane, do I have any rare machine cards coming up? There's my Valkyrie. I still used her. I used Sakuya to get the Valkyrie, actually. I don't know what I was using beforehand. Where's my next rare machine card? Oh gosh, I pulled the Hello Kitty collab. I don't know why I did that. Someone seduced me into pulling the Hello Kitty collab, so I guess I went along with it. So, you know, I got this. This. It looks cute at least. And this has actually been very useful. Like, this has actually been quite valuable because it's like a board refresh. Basically, it's like Keji, except it's purple, so it technically transfers stats if it's given to, like, say, Dark Metatron or any Dark-based team. So the spanking has been invaluable, so I guess it worked out in that case. Wow, I pulled 4 times. I'm so embarrassed by myself. Okay. Yay, look at that, brackies. So, I got Chiomis and Chiomis. Apparently, the Godfest consisted of only Chiomis. And then I got Izanami, who was actually phenomenal. And I plussed her out, I gave her love, gave her all those health latents, and she still has a decent amount of health. Obviously, power creep has not been kind, so she's not as viable anymore, but I was relying on her for quite a while. I had a Siren much longer beforehand, but obviously I fused it for pluses. And then I got I got Dark Metatron, and Dark Metatron I could never use because the old Dark Metatron was impossible to actually utilize because, well, she only used attacker types. And at that point, there was like no dark attackers. I didn't have Hanzos, I didn't have Grips Riders, so she just sat in my box as something that was like, cool, it looks nice, can't use it. And then eventually they made her God typing for 36 times, and I actually used Dark Metatron quite a bit before she got this new evolution. And then obviously with this new evolution, everyone's like, hype train, let's use Dark Metatron, she's great. But I actually liked her long before she became powerful, per se. Astaroth, I don't actually get to use her, she's just there. I don't even know. Cameo's inherited on her. I don't even know when that was from, but it's clearly been such a long time that it doesn't even have any relevance. I got a Yomi, and I got my first Haku then as well. So again, Yomi was cool, but Yomi didn't have their reincarnated or awoken evolution, so again, you couldn't use them. Haku was nice, but didn't have a place, so I was still using Sakuya for that point in time. I got Hades, again, no reincarnated. It was a pain to skill up. I actually max skilled my Hera Is, and again, that was one of my proudest moments. Like, I had a max skilled Hera Is on my Sakuya team, so basically I'd have Hera Is Gravity, Sakuya Gravities, push everything below 50%. It was amazing. Oh, she got buffed, so she actually can be skilled up more. I just haven't used her in that long, so it doesn't actually occur to me. Regardless, I was very proud of that. And then I got Anubis, and a Kusanagi Hime. But Kusanagi Hime back then was not actually that strong, so again, didn't use her. Anubis, I didn't have the skills to match 9 combos with 4 seconds at the time. I can use Anubis now. We do have time extends, makes life easier. I think my puzzling skills have also improved since back then. So Anubis kind of sat there, made another Lilith, got Goemon. Let's see, I probably sold a previous Goemon for pluses. Got Persephone, who was pretty, and then I got Light Metatron. And so Light Metatron actually replaced my Bubbly when Sakuya changed her typing away from physical. And Light Metatron had the water subtyping back then. And my 297s were actually Sakuya, then Valkyrie, then Light Metatron. So you kind of know where I invested my love and resources. Unfortunately, Light Metatron is not in the meta. This Karen, I've had her forever. I never used her. I don't think I ever use her still. Apparently I've got this DQXQ, but apparently I rolled other DQXQs, actually. I've rolled quite a few DQXQs, and that's why that one's not loved. I made Reincarnated Karen. I need to give her that Awakening. Whoops. Let's see what else. I got Isis, I got Hermes. So I started building a decent mono water team, but again, Sakuya is kind of the thing. I did roll Sonya, but I got onto the Sonya train a little late. It wasn't actually useful because I had a Sakuya team that was still clearing content, and I enjoyed that playstyle a bit more. I think Sakuya definitely helped my puzzling skills because I had to learn to combo like, I was probably matching like 7 combos on average, 6 to 7 with very little time extent, so that was not bad back then at least. And then I got Lucifer, and a lot of things changed because with Lucifer, I gained a very endgame oriented leader who was actually the first team I consistently farmed Arena 1 with. And that was a big deal because back when Arena 1 was first released, it was incredibly hard. Very few teams could beat it. There was no skill inheritance. There was still, you could use your 4 regular subs, but no skill inheritance. So you had 2 kind of dead weight actives through Lucifer. Eventually, skill inheritance came out, and then my clear rates went up significantly because I could inherit exciting things onto Lucifer, switch my team, bring higher recovery subs. So it became a lot easier when that skill inheritance came out. And then, of course, co-op came out, and then everything became so much easier. But regardless, I remember grinding through Arena 1 back then. It's actually on my website because I started tending to my website at that point in time beforehand. So it does showcase a lot of my Arena 1 strategies solo mode with Lucifer back in the day. I eventually acquired Sarasvati, and she was fun, she was cool. I still love Sarasvati. She was utilized quite well as a glass cannon leader. I still think she's one of the better glass cannon leaders because she just deals so much damage for a relatively gentle activation requirement. And in all honesty, I feel that she's very well situated. She has 3 skill boosts like this, she has a great glass cannon multiplier, and I feel that it's not necessary to actually make her Awoken form until Reincarnated comes out, because right now I would rather have this form because it makes a better sub because of the 3 skill boosts. It makes a better leader because it fulfills the niche of a glass cannon. Awoken Sarasvati doesn't really fulfill any niche. It's a stronger leader perhaps overall, but it's not strong enough to be a top tier or even a medium tier, maybe a medium tier leader. But the point being is, I'd rather have a leader that is something very specific, and Sarasvati in this form fulfills those roles beautifully. I got Parvati, again, never used her. Got Goetta, and then I got U and Y. But the thing is, Fantastic actually got U and Y much earlier, and Fantastic's main team was U and Y. So I was using U and Y on Fantastic and Sakuya on Mantastic. So I was using those 4 color combo leaders to great success. They were kind of neck and neck. U and Y went up, Sakuya went up, they went back and forth, back and forth. Sakuya obviously went ahead, and then U and Y came out with their new evolution very late into the game, like their Awoken U and Y. I cleared Arena 3 with that once. It was not the easiest win overall, but it was exciting for the most part. I would not recommend it though. And then I got Lumiel, I got another DQ. I got a few DQs, but I never used DQ until she got her Awoken form, and her Awoken form allowed her to become a powerhouse leader. I actually have a lot of stuff in my box. It's going to take a while, I realize. And then I got Hermes, I got Bastet. I made her Ace Bastet, and I used her for a while. I had it Awoken before, I used it, and I switched it. It's such a waste of resources. I don't use her. I like, even if I switched the other Bastet, I still wouldn't use her. I don't have necessarily the nicer, sexier wood subs, and it's not worth it. Anubis is better really in every way, shape, and form. Got Pandora, I got Blue Sonya, and I did roll Blue Sonya for quite a while. Like, I actually have 2 Blue Sonyas, and both of them have the same awakening, or same latents, because I actually farmed Arena 3 in Coliseum with my Mary team in the distant future, but I used Machine Killers and Skill Delay Resist across all my subs, and it worked beautifully. I could counter Gaia Dragon without a gemstone, I could mow through Coliseum, it's great. But again, I haven't really played Coliseum or Arena 3 in a long time, so my inherits are kind of just all over the place. Andromeda is also key to the success. Again, she has that Machine Killer. Sarasvati was my other sub, so Sarasvati, Andromeda, double Blue Sonya, and that actually soloed Arena 3. With some luck, of course. Lakshmi came out actually before Mary, so I did use Lakshmi for a while. But Lakshmi is a powerful leader, but she is very orb hungry in the sense that you need 2 different elements, and you need 2 different elements of both hearts and water in very excessive amounts, so it's quite challenging to use her. Nut is nice, but again, I never really utilized her. I pulled Hatsumi, it was cool. I could combo with Karen, but again, I didn't really use that Karen. Got Tsubaki. I got Hathor. Hathor has never been really that strong. Like, Sakuya always was ahead of Hathor, so it was really hard to actually utilize Hathor efficiently. Like, I guess now Hathor has interesting sub potential with double 7 combo awakening, so I guess it's something interesting. Hopefully, if Reincarnated, she becomes exciting, like at least a decent attack multiplier. She's also vulnerable to bind, so it's just awkward overall. We'll see what happens with Hathor. And then I eventually got Zerog Infinity, so I was very proud of the Zerog Infinity. I think it took 2 events to skill him up back when he first came out. The first event I failed to max skill him, and then eventually I did max skill him, and then I realized I have nothing I can use him with. Like, it's like really cool, but I can't use him because I have no dragons. I'm like, I can't get more Zerog Infinities either. It was so much effort, and you need orb changers, so I couldn't roll with a Zerog Infinity team, even though I had him quite early on in the game. But again, I used Sakuya, and this is still in solo mode back before co-op came out. So it was actually very challenging to beat Zerog Infinity with a Sakuya team without any of these sexy cheeses, skill delay resist. So you had to actually combo big on his combo shield form, and you couldn't true damage your way through it because your skills got delayed. Because no inheritance, no SDRs. And then I got some more Celestials. I got Karen, I got Leyland, I got Oku, I got Susanoo. I got another Haku, which apparently became useful. I got another Kushinada Hime, so that's what I'm using as an inherit on my other one. It should be there, maybe it's not now. I got another Light Kali. I put Light Kali on Light Kali because who doesn't like more Light Kali action? This is going to be like an interesting box. I'm just kind of going through back in time. It's interesting. I realize this might take too long, actually, so I'll try and go a little quicker. I think because I've rolled more at the beginning and rolled less as I progressed. Sonata, I got the Claire, I got the Reunite, I got Shiva. I used Shiva mostly because Fantastic had a good Shiva team, and then eventually Co-op made it so well. I have Shiva on Mantastic, I might as well pair it once in a while. Skuld, who I cannot wait for her new evolution, she's ready to go. I have all of the Norns, actually. Another Karen, because she's overly attached. But this Karen at least has killers, so it does make for interesting farming team opportunities. I got the Apollo. I completed a few different Pantheons. There's Loki, there's Oku, another Yamato, a second Sonata. I got Astralis. And I used Astralis before Awoken Lubei. Like, Fantastic had Lubei, and I paired it with Mantastic's Astralis, and I would button my way to glorious victory at that point in time. Let's see what else. Nothing too exciting here. I got Machine Hero. That was tough. That was exciting. I got Machine Zeus later on. I got my Orpharian done, but then again, that Seraphis is a part I got from a long time ago, so technically Orpharian did not come that fast. Got Mei, got Setsuki, got my DQXQ. I used DQXQ for a very long time when she was awoken. This is when I farmed Arena 2, and then Arena 3 came out and Miru came out, so I switched to those teams instead. Miru should be coming up. I used DQXQ to farm my Miru team, I believe, for the majority. Wedding Izanami, who I said was incredible, still is incredible. For the most part, one of the better silvers. If only she got some sort of buff or awakening. Well, she can't get more awakenings, or something interesting should have happened to her to keep her relevant. Some Tengu action. And there's my miraculous Miru. And that's basically the team that catapulted me through a lot of content when it came out. Like, it worked so well. Unfortunately, she's fallen out of favor, but I had a decent team. Man, Fantastic has better team because he has double wedding Akashis somehow. But that was pretty amazing. Going through, got a bunch of reunions, so I have a lot of reunions. I look forward to when she gets more evolutions and more relevance, but she's still good overall. There's my Awoken U and Y, Smashing Success, Balboa. I pulled more Godfest back then, I feel, in all honesty. Got some other cards, and then I feel like I'm getting closer. Like, now it's just filling up with fodder. I got Eshmali, a second blue Sonya, which helped my mono water teams. There's the Parvati, there's another Verdandi, there's Saria, there's Zuo. Got a Hera Dragon, so I was pretty happy about that. There's another Guy Dragon. I started beating Arena 3 at this point in time, it looks like, just seeing the Radar Dragons. It took me a while to get a Radar Dragon to drop, but I think it was Zeus Dragon first, and then Hera Dragon, so it took a while. Kind of skilled it up. Almost max skilled the Hera Dragon. Actually, wait. I still have 7. I could actually max skill the Hera Dragon if I really wanted, actually. Is there a point? No, but it makes me feel good, so then yes. There's Raphael, which I was happy about. Bunch more Guy Dragons. I started condensing my Radar Dragons. I used to have like pages of Radar Dragons, and it was a little ridiculous. I had pages of them, and I started condensing them by skilling them up because they were just taking up too much space back then. Still probably are, and I'll show you that tab in a moment. Let's see. I got Ra and I got Krishna. Krishna was exciting, but Miru still cleared content more consistently than Krishna, and Krishna was not necessarily faster, which is the main downside. I got double beach Cali or double water Calis. It looks nice. I use it on U and Y teams, so that's why Sharius is on there. Got Akashi, another Haku. So that completes my trio of Hakus. There was a Loki further up, so Dark Athena was a very logical purchase decision. I don't think I've really sold many REM cards. And then I finally got the glorious Lubei. And from there, my push button farming became amazing and magical. I'm just keeping looking around. Is anything noteworthy? Now it's like, I think I just farmed. I stopped rolling a lot because I started having decent teams, except for Mary. I got Mary, and I was so happy. And I got Mary on Fantastic, and then farming became amazing. Arena 3 became easy. Coliseum became easy. It was great. So Heroine was really nice to me in the sense I only took 7 rolls to get her, so pretty good. Oh, was it 8th Mito? 7 overall. I got Agrita eventually. Got Sakuyas. Got multiple Sakuyas. I got lots of 297s as well. I'll show you those in a moment. And yeah, basically just farming now. Like, not much rolling because I was pretty set at that point in time. A lot of Coliseum parts left over. That was, I guess, my Coliseum phase. Kind of right after Mary. I got my first gemstone eventually. I was very happy. And then lo and behold, I get another gemstone of the exact same carrot. So it helps having carrot because it's a universal burst inherit. I guess at this point in time, a burst inherit's not as necessary because technically if I play Anubis, I make a bicolor board, things blow up anyways. So it is interesting to know that gemstones are valuable, but they're less needed just because cards blow up things so fast. Got Ganesha, got it. I purchased Shiva Dragon in hopes that ranking dungeons would be coming around more often. I can't recall the last time we had a ranking dungeon. I regret not getting enough crowns. I should have spent all my stones on refilling because that's the strategy, just refill until you get that lucky run. So I never get those crowns back. I'm waiting for crowns. It's 2017. It might be 2018 and we still may not have another ranking dungeon. I'll be a bit disappointed because I want to get a shinier crown because it waters my ego flower. Going through, more Epharian parts, more farming, more farming. It's a lot of farming now. Barely any rolling. Yep, I don't roll. That's why I have 98 stones. Like, I rolled eventually to Madras. We're going faster now, don't worry. It was quite slow, because that's more so when the exciting stuff happened. 297s, nothing interesting still. Interesting, nope. Nope. Snow globes. Here we go. I rolled in this Godfest quite heavily. That was, I think, player's choice, and it wasn't very nice to me. I got no Diao chance, I was disappointed. I got Pandora, so I like Pandora. I got 2 Awoken, or so 2 Reincarnated. I guess if I can get some more, I can make an interesting Dark Metatron team filled with Pandoras, make it row-based, no orb enhances, more damage control. I got CME, I got another DQ. I got Red Valkyrie, who I haven't used. She's pretty, but not my favorite, unfortunately. Got another Pandora. I'm waiting to reincarnate this one as well. I have 4 Pandoras, so I could make 4 reincarnated Pandoras if I ever find out when Amir comes back. I don't know why, I just don't have an Amir lying around. But I got Indra, and Indra was crucial because Indra is invaluable. Like, I need Indra to play Anubis effectively, and that was one of the biggest gains for me, that player's choice. I got another Ganesha who I'm going to make as or Awoken form, but I'm missing something. And see, I got 3 Pandoras in that player's choice and 2 CMEs, so it was the wrong 6 stars. It could have been double Diao Chan, and I could have been pretty set. And then I don't think I've actually rolled anything after that point in time. It's just been Palig machines, and then 3-player co-op. I got my trio very quickly. Actually, I got them actually in a row. I got all 3. Like, my first 3 clears were 1 of each, so I was pretty happy. I have 2 Azoths. I've never actually invested or loved them. I don't think I'd ever be able to use them, and that's a lot of pies. I think I do have enough dark pies if I open up all my mail, but then I'd be out, and then I wouldn't like that because I would feel like a little agitated or anxious because I'm like, I'm out. It's weird. I always have a big supply, and I'll show you that in a moment. Plus a giant mailbox. Then more 3-player co-op. I played it quite a bit on stream. Most of my 3-player co-op is all on stream, actually. And I played with other people, rarely with myself. I think Fantastic's beaten only the top level of Cosmic Trinity, doesn't even beat the other one. I made blue and purple blue male hunter and purple female hunter. I have a lot of hunter evolution parts, a lot of the rare ones as well. Like, I think this is one of the rarer ones, possibly. So when trading comes around, I would be of use to my friends. And if you do want to send a friend request, I am currently only accepting best friends. So if you do, leave a comment in the comment section below saying you'll best friend me, and I'll make space for you and accept you. So yeah, I've got some of these furs. And as far as I'm aware, Fantastic has the exact same mats as Mantastic because in theory, they both played, so they should have the same mats. They played in co-op. So something interesting, like a lot of them. I started playing a bunch to help other people as well, and that's why I acquired a bunch. I helped my mom get her evolutions, so that's why I have a bunch of extra ones. I got the 297 Valkyrie from one of those challenges. I forgot which one. Let's see what else. Anything interesting? More hunter stuff. I could sell that for monster points. Like, this looks cool. Sky Realm. Looks cool. Can't use it. I should sell those pre-draws eventually. A lot of pre-draws. Wow. And again, yeah, nothing really I haven't rolled anything, I remember. Lots of stuff. Okay, so yeah, let's show us the pluses, because this video is actually taking quite a bit longer than I expected. Oops. So I'll just show you my pluses, because that's what's important. Then my teams, and then my sections, and then I guess my other folders. So again, the red is obviously built very largely around Krishna being supreme, and then Tsubaki's because I thought it was fun, but then Tsubaki's ended up getting Dragon Killer, so it actually became useful. I have 4 Tsubaki's because overly attached Godfest exclusives are overly attached. Got the Plessy Bean. Actually, I'm going to show this section of 297s because it doesn't show my fodder that way. It's a little more condensed. Blue, like I said, was for Mary, for Blue Sonia, so a lot of those cards reflect that. I also have the Lakshmi, so again, a lot of my choices reflected that. U and Y is important back then as well. Green is really just Kusanagi Hime, Zeus Dios's, and then interesting cards to make Zeus Dios better, like Mitos, Parvati. To a certain extent, Sasuke works because of the killers. Like, it's just interesting cards to help supplement how Zeus Dios Liu Bei's worked for the most part. I actually pied a Machine Athena. I don't think I ever used it. A little regret, but then I have so many wood peas anyway, so it wasn't as much regret. I never used her. I don't have machine teams for it. It was just an interesting sub. Light was Sakuya, my first big love, and then it was DQXQ, then Miru. So my light box actually is quite a few plussed out cards, and now 3 Orpharians. And 3 Orpharians actually comes in handy. Sometimes I want a lot of skill boosts. They're actually useful cards. They're all max skilled, so they are great bases for inherits. And then finally in Dark Athena, Dark Metatron. I like Dark Metatron a lot more, but Dark Athena I still use for easy content because Dark Athena is mindless. It's fast. You don't have to really think. It's very safe as well. But Dark has Yomi Dragon as well, so I use Yomi Dragon. I used Yomi Dragon first, then reincarnate Yomi somewhere in there as well. I used Dark Metatron and Dark Athena, so a lot of the choices reflect that. But Lucifer was definitely the first Dark card I used extensively. So then I keep this for prizes. This is where I would condense stuff. I have a lot of Gaia Dragons. I think that means I could max skill a Gaia Dragon. I could max skill a Gaia Dragon. Not Zeus Dragon. I could max skill a Hera Dragon if I condensed them. Hephaestus Dragon never would drop. It was my bane. It took me it was my 31st Radar Dragon drop, and it was him. It was such a nightmare. And this is before they buffed the drop rate. This was in 2016 when things were harder. Like, there was no Latent Awakening. Well, there wasn't the sexier killer, Latent Awakenings. There was no Fujin. So it was such a hassle trying to actually get my Radar Dragon collection. It took me so long, and eventually I got it on Christmas Day. So it was a little Christmas miracle because I was staying at my mom's place, and I got it on, well, I was playing Christmas Eve, but it took so long I went into Christmas Day, and it dropped, and I screamed. I was so happy. It was amazing. It was like one of the best Christmas presents ever. And then I'm like, oh, and then it started dropping afterwards like hotcakes. Well, hotcakes. Noah Dragon. I should have kept a bit more Noah Dragons, just in case I need them for evolutions. But I'm relatively set, and then I keep 297 fodder in here, basically so I just have an idea of how many 297s I have available, so I can check them around on different teams. I might have more if I condense them. If we look at this, these are all my spare Orpharian parts. Technically, I have 5, 9, 13. I have 13 Orpharian parts, but excluding heads. But those 13, I could actually make 1 more Orpharian only. But technically, my distribution is better. I can make 3 Orpharians, but I only can make 1 from that. So hopefully, maybe with trading, I could find the Orpharian parts I'm missing, just keep making more, because, you know, it feels good to have more Orpharians. I have lots of heads, so I can help you get ahead in that game as well. That's mostly from Colosseum, as though. I sort my evolution materials. I'll show you how I sort them, actually. I sort them by favorite, health, attack, recovery. And that way, it basically keeps all liked ones together. So you see all my angelets together. You see all my devlets. You see my... Well, I only have 1 red spirit, which is unusual. I like hoarding, just so I have evolution things ready to go. Basically, I just sort it this way. Like, I have lots of stuff. So here are my hunter collections. So this might be interesting. So I do have enough parts to make a red female hunter, especially the rare ones. I got the blue hunter as well. And I'm pretty sure I have the other ones as well because I never actually made them. So again, when trading comes out, I could be very valuable, I feel, overall. I probably could sell and condense to get my box space back eventually. Yeah, I could definitely sell a bunch. Latent Tomatoes. I've only got 28 SDRs. I don't farm it enough. But I have, again, more than enough to supply a couple of teams, so I'm at least set in that regards. I have a bunch of other killers. I don't think I have too many dragons or machines. I only got 2 machines. I actually threw a lot of machine killers onto my Mary team in order to blast through Coliseum and Arena 3. And I really haven't played much Arena 3. Like, I played so much Arena 3, and this is before Killer Latents came out. So I really feel like I was cheated out. I beat it a couple, like 150, maybe 200 times. And then they introduced Killer Latents, and I was like, wow, really? I beat it that many times, and I don't have any killers to show for it? So my killer collection is a little low. Like, I've only got 2 Dragon Killers left. I fed them across my teams. I've got 6 Devils, so actually that'll be good for my Pandoras if I ever get them up and running. So I could have my Dark Metatron and Pandoras, all these Devil Killers. Good for 3-player Cosmic Trinity. So, like, I don't have that many killers. Like, I feel like I'd have so many more if things were friendlier. I got 11 God Killers, of course. Yeah, but Dragon and Devil are my main. Dragon, Devil, Machine, I feel like the strongest ones overall. I have more SDR. I favorite things and stop favoriting things. I have a bunch of Tamadras. I've got a nice stockpile of 152. I'm ready for new cards. I'm kind of waiting for Nay as well as other powerful cards to be released, and then I'll probably roll. Because the thing is, when you want to catch up for power creep, like, I still can clear all the content, but my cards are not as power creeped as they could be. I'm missing a lot of the sexier options. So the best way to catch up, so to speak, is just hoard and save. Skip many, many Godfests, and then when the exciting one comes out, you're ready to blow your load. And you will be able to hopefully acquire those power creep cards and be set for the next several months, and then you kind of go through that cycle again of, like, fasting and then feasting, just saving up and then going nuts on a good Godfest. So I'm waiting for those cards to come out. Like, that way I can possibly snag Nay, I can snag Yogg, and Fujin, all these other exciting cards. So that's what my goal is right now. That's why I'm hoarding so many stones, as well as just expanding my box space as required. And now I come to monster experience. So I have lots of snow globes. We all should have lots of snow globes. I have lots of monster experience because, well, yeah, we just basically have a way to get lots of monster experience at this point in time. I have a lot of Ps. Oh, I favorite them as well. I favorite some and I didn't favorite others. So I have 36 red ones, 22 blue, 36 green, 28 yellow, and only 15 purple. However, if we go into my mailbox, wow, I could just scroll forever, and I should probably clean up my mailbox, but just forever, so many rewards, like so many rewards. So I probably have a lot of stuff in there. I just have to open them, and they are expiring in 15 days, so, you know, I gotta expand my box space, so that's gonna be annoying. I might start pieing more things. I actually pied like everything left, right, and center because I had so many Ps and it was taking up too much space. And I might have to do that again moving forward. And last but not least, I'll show you my friends list because I guess a lot of people are interested in that perhaps. So I pretty much always sit at 300 friends. I generally keep my friends list quite clean. I delete inactive users on a regular basis. Best friends I keep around for 45 days and then I will delete you unless you've told me ahead of time. But regular friends, I tend to just cut you out because, well, you can re-add me back at a later time. But best friends require a bit more love. And in regards to the number of best friends I have, I'll scroll through. We're going more. Hands tired. Woo, too much scrolling. Okay, keep going. All right, still going strong. Will I hit that 50 halfway mark? Can I hit the halfway mark? That'd be pretty nice. I think I've passed halfway, actually. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, this is great. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting there. Okay, so let's guesstimate 180 best friends, 175 to 180 best friends approximately. So I like PAL points. I get a lot of PAL points, and it's a good way to obviously like interact with me. Like, you obviously have someone who's going to be playing consistently. I have most of the exciting leaders, barring like Fujin and Herod, so I think I make a reasonable best friend as well. I play regularly, so you don't have to worry about that as well. And in terms of like people, like, see that Majors, I know that person in real life. I don't know why they're not playing. Teaspoon is pretty much might be deleted. Mochi, like, and Whisper, like, they're all like on the edge of getting kicked off because, well, they're edging on too long. Funky Fresh is one of my oldest friends. I know Polygonica in real life. I know Chip in real life. I don't know what's happened to them. I hope they're okay. So I have a few inactive best friends, though, unfortunately. But my least played, my longest not played regular friend has been 1 day. So, like I said, if I am getting more best friends, I will delete those people to accept best friends at that point in time. But a lot of them tend to come back, hopefully. So, oh yeah, and last but not least, I said I was going to tease out what I'm going to be releasing, barring new content releases. Hint, Nerd, Skull for Dandy. But things I want to try and do in the next coming week. are a 7x6 matching guide. Something similar to how I did like my spatial planning guide for a regular 6x5 board, how I arranged the orbs to kind of do section 1, 2, 3 to make life a little easier, and as well as doing an updated Monster Point card review. Basically, it will be incorporating the Light Hera Dragon and the Red Mirror, as well as all the other currently available Monster Point cards, and just kind of giving you an idea of where they fit in the current meta, and if you should or should not purchase them moving forward, or at least at this point in time. So, hopefully this box tour was exciting. Hopefully you all have enjoying your Puzzle and Dragons life. I wish you all a mantastic day, and happy puzzling. Mouse? Oh no. Oh goodness. My mouse is not working. I can't cut the tape. Okay, cutting the tape. Happy puzzling.